Hey everybody, I'm Evan,
And I'm Missy.
and today we are going to be going over our top 10 most anticipated games for 2024. And by our, I mean mostly
Yes.
mine. And with the caveat that most of these are crowdfunded games because I don't know what comes out and when it comes out. So games that I've backed on a crowdfunding platform,
hmm
and I have a reasonable idea that they're going to be coming out this year, that's mostly what made my list.
Crossing our fingers.
Yeah, exactly. Because maybe one of these, or maybe even two of these, should have been out last year.
Mm.
Um, well, I guess we're just gonna get started, right?
Yep.
We got a couple of honorable mentions, and then there was a couple on her list that if they're not on my list, we'll see them at the very end. So let's start with honorable mentions. Okay, my first honorable mention is going to be the Queen's Dilemma.
Mm.
So we have a complicated history with
King's Dilemma.
with the King's Dilemma, which this is a sequel to. But I still pre-ordered this. I guess it was, or was it? It was a crowdfunded thing, wasn't it?
I
Yeah.
think so.
But I think I
You
late
lit
pledged it.
pledged
I
it,
guess.
yeah,
Yeah.
because you weren't
So
sure after what you'd
because
get.
I think at the time we were still playing it.
Mhm.
So I'm still super looking forward to this game. Well, how do you feel about this?
I'm sure it'll be fun. I don't think it's
Well,
the same story, right?
no,
It's
it's like many years in the future. So if we look at some pictures here, I think maybe they tightened it up a little bit because it mentions that there's like six characters, where in the
mm,
first one there's like
a lot.
like 20 families or whatever it is, like a
Yeah.
ridiculous amount. So sometimes you didn't always get down the right path to do your
The
certain
story,
thing.
yeah.
So I think maybe now it'll flow a little smoother,
Mm.
possibly.
Okay.
Um, I think there's the up. I don't think we got these upgraded pieces because why would you get upgraded pieces for a
For
legacy game?
yeah, that I'm pretty sure you would have said no to that.
So, but whatever.
I can see the appeal, but yes, it would just go in our land.
Yeah, so that's our first runner of the Queen's Dilemma, which I believe will be delivering this year.
Okay.
All right, the next honorable mention is going to be is this Texas Chainsaw Massacre: The Escape game. I know very little about this.
Is this the French one that we found?
Yeah, so
Okay.
it's a French game, but if you notice here, there is an English box cover.
Okay.
So, and when that's all the information there is. I'm assuming this is something like an unlock game where, it's like just in a one-time through escape thing. But I like I like the IP enough that like I'm gonna get this no matter what.
Yeah.
But it's from a company I've never heard of. Maybe it might not be good. Who knows? But I am looking forward to like at least checking it out this year. So we'll see. All
All
right.
right.
So let's start with the realist. My number 10 is going to be Botany.
Oh,
Do you know anything about this game?
I think I've heard of it.
Yeah. So it's at first it kind of looked like Wing Spanish, but I did back this. I think it was I don't know if it was Kickstarter or not, but um
One of those crowdfunding
so it
places.
says flower hunters compete to find fortune and fame and be named the royal botanist. So it's like in Victorian times you're like hunting flowers, right?
Okay.
So it just says dice rolling and it says like adventure. So like you're look at some pictures here. There's not a lot on here, but
No.
the art looks really good,
Yeah, that
right?
looks really
Like
nice.
it's a very like beautiful looking game.
Yeah.
But I don't think there's a lot of information on here. So it looks like you're like traveling around the map and then collecting flowers, like to add to your collection. I don't know if you're like probably trying to meet
Discovering them?
goals, I guess. But I don't think so. I think you're just like hunting specific ones.
Okay.
But then if you look at this picture, it looks like there's these story cards of some sort, right? Like event story cards.
Okay.
So I don't think it's quite what I thought it was because like I said, it seemed more like a wingspan but with flowers.
Okay.
But it's somehow an adventure game, so it's at my number 10 because I probably know the least about it, even though I backed it. Because sometimes it just looks cool, so I back it. So my number 10 is Botany. I
We shall see.
We shall see, yes. And I'm hoping for the best. It was like a really successful crowdfunding campaign. Like a lot of people backed it. So yeah, that's my number 10, Botany. All right. My number 9 is going to be Haruka.
Yes.
I have this one so low because I like the comic.
hmm
I like the company that's putting this game out, but the game itself isn't like a skirmish game, correct?
Um, Yes,
So, like, well, why don't you talk about it because you're the one who's actually played it.
I have played it. I played it at Gen Con 2 years ago, 2 years ago, I think. And it's possibly getting here on Friday. I have a
Well,
mystery tracking number that could be this
eh,
because I know it is currently
well,
shipping.
soon anyway.
Yes, it will be here soon. So you're one of the characters, and it campaigns that you unlock other characters, I believe. And you have to like create a row of characters, and then there's like a drop box where you drop in the stuff, and then like at the
Yeah,
time where you
that
battle, it
that's right here,
comes
right?
out. Yeah,
There's a cube tower.
in the tree of the box.
Yeah,
Yeah,
which is interesting. An
yeah.
interesting little hook. Is it like an area control game? Is that what it is?
In a way, it is. Yeah,
Okay. But like,
yeah.
yeah, so like
And
I
you can
said,
do different things.
I like the
Mhm.
property, I like the comic. I'm not sold on the game
Okay.
yet. So,
Well, we're getting it.
yeah, I know we are getting it.
Yes.
Because you actually backed it, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So,
And I backed it for the deluxe edition.
right. So I'm
So,
looking forward to seeing what it's all about. So that's why it's so low on the list.
right. You
Because
don't know as much as I
I
do.
don't, but well,
Well, all I can say is that when I did play it at Gen Con, I would have won if Jay wasn't helping the other player.
it was a prototype demo, right?
Yeah.
Um,
It was a mostly done prototype.
yeah, okay. All right. Well,
It still looked pretty much like what we're gonna get.
yeah. All right. Well, looking forward to that. It's only 1 to 3 players, best at two. So it's
Mhm.
yeah, so it's ideally a two-player game,
Yes.
right?
Mhm.
So yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Looking forward to seeing to seeing how it ends up. All right. So that was my number. Oh my gosh, I ran out already. Number 9. So my
Mhm.
number 8 is going to be this game called Beverage.
Huh.
Okay, this is a new version of an older, like a couple year older game. This was also backed on Kickstarter. So it has a 5.5 rating. So somebody's a hater probably because the Kickstarter is taking longer than it should have to come out.
That
Um,
does happen.
but basically, you are, what does it say? Rival CEOs compete to get their drinks sold inside a giant stadium. So it is a worker placement type game
I like worker
where
placement
you
games.
are like I think it says soda.
Yeah.
I think it just says drinks. So like, there's not a lot of pictures on here,
Yeah.
but yeah, basically you're somehow competing to get your beverages into this stadium that's being built in the city.
I assume that's the
The stadium
stadium
there in the
they
middle.
are.
Yeah, I assume so. I don't.
It's
I can see.
interesting looking. Is that a vending machine? Yes.
Yes, it has chips in it, so I don't know
Hmm.
100%
And they
how it
look
works.
yeah.
They
So it's definitely
are.
soda, I would think.
They are. But if you look, there was a picture that looked like beer, though. I think it's on the cover of the
I
box.
suppose. What if it's root beer? You don't know.
That is true, but it was in like a mug. And
Mm.
there's like these little wooden like soda
It comes in a mug.
bottles. Um,
It looks cute.
yeah. So I'm looking forward to that because it looks like a kind of a quirky game with a quirky type theme. But it looks like something that's right up my alley because it's a unique sort of thing. I'm not really sure what I don't.
The cover is interesting.
Yeah, so I think this was supposed to be out last year. It's by Asobition, which did Animals Marquet,
Hmm.
right? Which has a pretty cool production with cool
Oh
pieces and
yeah,
stuff.
and
So
it definitely does.
so that is my number 8 beverage.
Interesting.
All right. So number 7 is going to be Biohack.
Oh yeah, I remember you telling me
Okay.
about this
So
one.
this is the next Uchibakoya game that's going to be out.
Hmm.
Which a company that I'm super fan of, right?
Yeah.
In this one, I think it's like what does it say? It says drafting set collection, simultaneous action selection. I've watched a playthrough on of the prototype on the Cardboard East channel. But basically, you are like, what does it say? Recreate various creatures from myths and gain back your reputation as scientists. Okay.
Oh.
So basically, you're like like DNA, like gathering DNA and like hacking these weird creatures to like create these strange things.
Well,
So
so being it's a Japanese game, it would be
it
like
is.
yokai that you're creating.
No, not quite, because the designer is actually Indonesian.
Oh,
So they're publishing a game by I don't know if he's a new designer. Let's look at some pictures here because let's
what's that
see here. Yeah,
character?
because like look at this thing.
Oh,
I don't know what that
it's Kuso.
is. So I think because like since you're like mixing and combining DNA, you're getting
Hmm.
odd creatures out of it. I don't think there's a ton of pictures on
of the animals
here.
or the
No,
creatures, I guess.
'cause those look like the card backs. Like there's
Oh,
a
there's this
there's an extremely strange looking thing.
Chari boys.
Sure.
I don't know. Mhm.
So yeah, so you're basically scientists collecting DNA, you know, and then
Possibly
making
evil
making the
scientist.
DNA into strange creatures.
By the way that the character cards were looking.
Of course it has cool pieces because it's Sushi
Of
Picoya.
course. Oh, there's a merlion. It's a mermaid lion. Oh, oh, a
um,
manticore.
it sounds like a normal thing, right?
Yeah,
Not normal, but
yeah. Greek mythology in there too.
yeah. So it's probably going to be, not like super complex, but involved, right?
Hmm. Wait, go back to those pillar
These
marks.
pillars.
Like, why
I
is that
don't.
like a fetus?
Well, I mean, we're creating
That
creatures.
one looks like a rabbit, and that one looks like a fish, but that one looks like a fetus.
Maybe it's like human DNA.
It could be.
I don't know. I don't know, but I have high hopes for this one based on the company that's putting it out. So,
Yeah,
because come on, Ushibukoya makes fantastic games.
they do.
So yeah, that's my number. What was that? Seven.
Seven, yeah.
Biohack. All right. So my number six is going to be Divinus. Okay. Do you know anything about this game?
No.
So this is it's a Lucky Duck game. It's a legacy game, but I think it's primarily a tile laying game. And it also uses an app like Lucky Duck games tend to do. And the app is
Chronicle of
out,
Chaos,
so this game is being delivered soon because they
okay,
released the app.
I see.
And they figured out a new system where they don't have to scan the QR codes anymore.
Oh,
So like there's QR codes on nothing. It'll be able to just scan the tiles and recognize what it is.
that's cool.
Unlike
Chronicles of Crime.
Chronicles of Crime where the QR codes everywhere. This does not have QR codes.
Interesting.
So I don't think there's a ton of pictures on here. Basically, you're like gods fighting for control of area or something.
Yeah, the little quip said something about Norse and Greek pantheons.
Yeah,
So
so like they're competing.
the
Um,
gods are infighting.
yeah, let's see what we can see here. There's that apparently is a sticker being placed on something.
Yeah.
Like I guess that's what the game looks like because there's I'm not sure if those are tiles that are being drafted or if they're being placed there. Um, I was this was one of those ones I was kind of on the fence on for a long time, and then I think it was Jeremy Howard on Man vs. Meeple gave it like a glowing review saying you need to
Nice.
try it, right? And
Hmm.
this is another one that's also like very delayed. It's taken a very long time to get this one out. So I believe I went all in, so I think there's like even minis that are in here. So I'm not sure
Oh,
where they go because I don't see anything that looks like a that would
we'll
well,
find out.
I don't know. So yeah, so I figured for like a legacy game, I think this would be a lot of fun. So I am very much looking forward to it.
Awesome.
There's not a lot. Like it looks like there's little boxes here.
Well, they're demigods.
Yeah, because I think that's you. I think these are probably the player characters.
Mm, it's a Percy
Um,
Jackson type of
what
situation.
does that say? Chest of Plenty. I'm pretty sure that's the one we got. So,
Ooh.
and also that looks huge.
It does. That's gonna
So
take up a whole Calyx
yeah, all
shelf
right. And I think
space
there's some sort of
cube.
recharge pack, or you can play it afterwards, and then there's an expansion that adds to the campaign. I don't know. There's a ton of stuff, and it should be showing up rather soon, actually.
Mm,
All right. So that was my number six.
okay.
All right. So my number five is going to be Chucky. This is a game we don't know a whole lot about.
No.
However, based on two things, the designers
Yeah.
and the company. Oh,
Right.
and the IP because
Yes.
we all like Chucky. Who doesn't like Chucky?
Oh, the show
Um,
is so great.
so the designers that we know anyway are Banana Chan, who's
Yep.
a cool person all around,
Mm-hmm.
and Eric Slauson, who worked on
Monstrosity.
Monstrosity, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, those two designed it.
Yes.
There is
Uh,
not.
There's another person that worked on it
I
too, but
think
we don't
they are
know
I
them.
think they are a brand new designer. They've
Mm,
never designed anything before.
okay.
I don't know whose idea this game was because you think of a Chucky game, you think of like a murderous doll running around, you have to escape from it, right? Well, that
Mm.
doesn't seem to be what this is about because the tagline says, find evidence about murders to protect yourself from a killer doll. There aren't a lot of pictures of this.
Mm.
Um,
Are you like
so
the Andy getting blamed and being
maybe it's almost like a deduction game, right? Because where you're trying to
right?
figure out, I don't know, like I don't know
But we're
because
gonna get it anyway.
yeah, but yeah, right. Based on Trick or Treat Studios, like they've been putting out really cool horror-based games lately, and they've been all been fun. So it's like this is what the game looks like. And there's no killer doll to be found. It looks like there's locations and tokens. And like I said, this is this little player board here that has, I don't know, evidence on it. I don't know. However, I am very much looking forward to it.
Yes. I'm have
It
a
says, yeah, there's nothing like for mechanisms listed. So I don't know.
I don't know either.
Uh, so we're gonna find out. It's the same artist as Nightmare Productions,
Okay.
which was a trick or treat game.
Mm-hmm.
So it looks cool. I like the theme. I'm not 100% sure what exactly you're doing in this game. So,
No.
however, insta buy.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
I trust in Banana Jam.
Yeah, and I trust in Trick or Treat because they've been putting out some fun things. All right, so that was my number five.
Yeah.
Number four, well, it's Tales of the Arthurian Knights.
Is it actually coming out this year?
I don't know because it was supposed to be out last year,
Yeah.
and I feel like according to the designer, like it was done, like just ready to be printed.
Right.
So, like at some point last year.
But
In
the
fact, this game is supposed to be out like 15 years ago.
hmm,
Like it was announced like 15 years ago. They
right.
finally probably got around to making it.
But didn't we wonder if because WizKids said they were
So I think reading in the forums, I think WizKids is still publishing this,
okay.
even though
Hmm.
WizKids is not going to be publishing games as much anymore. I don't know. There's a weird where
I'm not
the
sure.
company broke off into another company, and the lead is taking a lot of those games with him. But I don't think this is one of them, which may mean it's in a more completed, like printed state than we know. I don't know. Either way, this is like the sequel to Tales of the Arabian Nights,
Right.
which is, a story based, game where you're running around doing weird stuff. And there's a huge book full of weird adventures.
Yeah.
The map looks similar to the other one.
Yeah.
I think it's somehow a more streamlined experience. I don't know what that means, but
This one wasn't crowdfunded,
this
right?
was not
Okay.
crowdfunded.
So
No.
it's just we're expecting it to be
Yeah, but
released.
again, we were expecting it last year. So,
Right.
have encounters. I assume these are encounter cards, right?
Yeah. Maybe it'll be at Gen Con. Maybe.
Usually, like, yeah, then you read a passage from a book, make decisions, weird things happen. Those are all the pictures that there are. But of course, you don't want a lot of. It's mostly going to be a book full of text, right?
Right, right, right. Drink the fire. Always drink the fire.
I don't know if there'll be any fire to drink in this one,
Yeah,
but
there will probably be fire to drink in this
we'll see.
one. I think so.
So yeah, super looking forward to that because we have a lot of fun with its predecessor,
Hmm.
even though it's goofy and it doesn't make any sense and
It's fun though.
it's super random, but it's a heck of a lot of fun. All right, so that was my number four. My number three is going to be Let's Go to Japan.
Oh
Do,
yeah.
do you know anything about this game?
Not a ton, but it's
This was also crowdfunded, but that's
yeah.
obviously going to be available everywhere because it's an AEG game.
You're planning your dream vacation.
Yeah, so instead of like going to Japan, you're planning your trip to Japan. And it uses like card drafting and like where you're like planning out your trip. I think using like a some sort of a time system. I don't know how it
Mhm.
works. Um, but I think it's a really unique theme because like trip planning. Can you think of any other game about trip planning? Like
Not really.
so, and obviously everything looks really fun. So like you're planning out your week, or like how many events you can like how many activities you can do.
Mm.
I think, like I said, I think it uses drafting so that you're drafting cards to do all these things. Take a cooking class. Go to Japan to take a cooking class. I don't know.
Uh,
Sure, okay.
sure.
Um,
My dream Japan would be going to Kabukicho. So,
do they have cooking classes there?
no, but they might have
Yeah,
cats.
you can visit the cat cafe.
Yeah, they have that in at least in the video games that we play.
You can visit these temples. Planning your trip. Yeah, so I think this game is good. I have high hopes for this game because it sounds like a heck of a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Trip planning. And obviously it looks really cool. And it was based on the designer's actual event because he was planning a trip and then COVID hit. So instead of planning his trip, he made a game about planning his trip. So,
Works out.
and I think the only other game we've played by him would be Cat Lady.
Okay.
So, which is obviously this is a more complex sort of game, but it's
Right.
probably not super complex. But yeah, I'm super looking forward to that. That was my number three. So my number two
Hmm.
is going to be Clank Legacy
Yeah.
2. Because based on the fact that Clank Legacy 1 was so fun.
It was super fun.
That one was not crowdfunded, I don't believe, but this one was
Yes.
for some reason. I don't know.
Well, they split off from
Oh, from Renegade? Right,
yes.
because Direwolf was doing it themselves.
Yeah.
But I wonder if Renegade will publish the retail copy anyway. I don't know.
I don't know, but I think that's why
Yeah,
they
I guess that's
had to do
possible.
crowdfunding.
So, Clank Legacy is based on obviously the game Clank,
Hmm.
and it's a legacy game. So things change. There's multiple maps. There's all kinds of weird events and things that happen. Obviously, this game there is nothing about because you don't want to know anything about it.
No,
The
I
only
don't.
the only picture on Board Game Geek is the box cup.
Right. So what? So we got Jim Dark Magic and yeah, that's about it.
Yeah, I don't remember their names. I don't know
No,
anything about the world of Acquisitions Incorporated.
I just remember from the last time
I
we
know,
played
but even that I don't remember anything.
with that we encountered that guy quite a few times.
Yeah,
He had a card that we would play,
yeah, well, right, because yeah, it's a whole thing, right?
and it looks like those might be the characters.
Yeah, I assume those four there in the front are the playable characters. We played
Hmm.
this, and we plan on playing it again with the four of us in our family. So
Hmm.
the games do run long.
Hmm.
It says 60 to 120 minutes. I feel like 120 minutes minimum, especially when people are taking a long time in the turns and deciding where they want to go. And
But we also want to get every single
yeah,
story
we're like,
point
hey,
that we
don't
can.
leave yet. Don't leave yet. There's a spot all the way at the bottom of the map we want to get. Yeah, so that totally happens. Like if we don't unlock this, something bad's gonna happen. And
Yeah.
so it's even though it's not a cooperative game, we kind of played it. We're like, let's make sure we do everything we possibly can. So unfortunately, yeah, not much information. I think the Kickstarter has more information on it, but we don't want any information on this. So
Yeah.
that is my number two. All right.
Ooh. So
So
what's your number
so
one?
my number one is going to be also a game that was supposed to be out last year, and that is called Atlas Lost. So this is not actually by Uchibikoya, but I think they maybe are helping with the production because they do make the meeples and stuff for
Hmm.
other games too. It's actually by Tactical Games,
Okay.
but the designer is Tatsuka Cho.
Yeah. Who is your favorite?
So this, okay, so I'm a little unclear about what you're supposed to do in this game. It says a battle game where you explore the lost world and discover technology.
Okay.
The description says the game is set in Atlas Lost, a world ruined by AI warfare.
Oh,
The players try to unearth the technology and take control of the new world. So it might be an area. I think it's an area control type game where you're trying to uncover all this old technology to rule the world. I don't know.
right. So the AI destroyed the world. That's
It's
predicting the future
it's
there.
real. It's a realistic theme. Um. So, however, the production looks gorgeous.
Oh yeah.
So I don't think we really have any tech tree type games. We probably do, but tech tree games are like everybody's favorite these
Mm.
days. I don't know. So like basically you're unlocking these different, branching technological paths to accomplish your stuff.
That's
And
a
it
Final
can
Fantasy skill tree. That's what that is.
it does kind of look like that, doesn't it? So I guess that's a good analog for what this game is going to be, right?
Yeah.
So um
These little curve pieces are
I know I'm
interesting.
not sure. It says those are the economy pieces. I don't know where they go. I don't know what they do. All I know is I needed to get this game.
Of course.
Um,
But wait, go back to those meeples.
this
Yeah, what are
it's
those?
kind of hard to tell on this picture. Oops.
Oh, there's like a little round thing under that one.
I know. I'm not sure. It's not like the clearest picture, unfortunately.
Huh.
And I also believe this is either shipping soon or has shipped. I'm not sure. Very, very, very,
Okay.
very shortly. But like these dudes are little warriors with guns,
All
so
right.
I don't know. I'm very much looking forward to this
Cool.
and discovering what the heck it's all about. I feel like there's some pictures here we're missing. I don't know. Maybe that's it.
Okay.
This also was crowdfunded a few years ago at this point.
Well, it sounds like we're about to get a lot of mail this next couple months,
Well,
maybe.
presumably. So
Hopefully.
we'll see. Yeah, that's my number one,
Okay.
which is Atlas Lost: Rise of the New Sovereigns.
Yeah.
So, there was a couple of things on her list that we didn't, that were not on my list,
Hmm.
and the first one is this fromage
Yes.
because I do like cheese, but she's the one who actually ended up backing
Don't
this.
like cheese.
That's nonsense. You like cheese?
I'd like cheese melted on things. I'm not gonna eat a piece of cheese by itself.
I'll eat cheese in any form.
No.
So, yeah, Fromage. It's
Yes.
about cheese.
Cheese making.
It's Road to Infamy, which they make like fantastic production on their games too.
Yes.
What does it say? Prototype player board. You're doing something with cheese. What do you do in this game? Do you know? Are you just collecting cheese to
Um,
eat?
I don't know what you're doing. No, honestly, don't. There's gonna be some like cow meeples,
Cow meatballs. Let's see if we can find
if I
it.
remember right from the Kickstarter. But I just got an update like 2 days ago, maybe, where they said production would start once the workers return from Lunar New Year,
Okay.
and it's expected. So it is expected to come this year.
Yeah. So there's like this round board with like these little in recessed pieces that you place your cheeses in. I don't know. It's about cheese.
Yeah.
So like, how can this be bad, right? There is a cow. These are probably
Prototype?
prototype
Yeah.
pieces. Yeah. So, oh, there's the cow meeples.
Yes. Was
Cow
one
meat.
of them's a goat and
That's a
one's a
goat.
sheep.
So
Goat cheese.
you can make sheep cheese.
Oh, and look, you got some strawberries. Like you're making all sorts of neat stuff, it
And
looks
like
like.
these little building. Yeah, this is gonna be fun.
Yeah,
I'm looking forward to this too. It just didn't make my list.
right. And
So,
I met Ben last year. He also made the Search for Planet X, which
oh yeah, which
this
is
doesn't look
no
bad.
Ben Rossett. Is that who
Yes.
that is? Okay, yeah, all right.
Yes.
No, this is looks like a completely different game than that.
Yeah.
Uh,
It absolutely does not look the same.
yeah, cheese. Game about cheese.
Mm.
Okay, and then we have one more thing on her list that she wanted to mention, and that is this Thunder Road expansion,
Yeah, Carnival
Carnival
of
of Chaos.
Chaos.
Yeah.
Yes. I play tested it at PAX U. Um, One, it's adding purple cars. Always good.
Oh,
Purple, good.
okay. So like
Great, love it.
another player or just another color car?
Because it can be 5 players in the arena,
Yeah,
but you're not going to use big rig or
I see.
recycles.
Okay,
So they have a different car available to have 5 players. But
right.
then you could also, I believe, choose to do that in the regular game just to be the purple.
Just to have the purple cars.
Yeah, purple cars.
Yeah, that's cool.
Heck yeah, purple cars. But
Because
go ahead.
maybe not everybody wants to. If you're playing 5 players, you may not want to play the motorcycles or the big rig in the normal game because they're a little different and they can't use the upgrades,
Mm-hmm.
but they're still cool.
Yes,
But if you don't want to, well, here we
right.
go. So you should mention that this is an arena. It's not a race anymore.
No, yes, this is a battle arena, twisted metal style. Each car has to come in from a different one of the different areas that
Yeah.
feed into the arena, and then there are cards that come up every round and like different floor spaces that activate every round. That will give you good stuff or do damage, and you play until one car or one player is completely eliminated. And
Yeah,
then whoever has the most scrap, which is kind of like money,
I see.
wins.
So yeah, so this changes up the game quite a bit then. It's not because it's not a race anymore.
Right.
You're still playing the same game, but
It's
the
almost like a different game, but it's using all
using
the pieces
yeah,
of
sure,
the
sure.
existing game.
So the question is, this is being crowdfunded in February, right?
Yes.
February 2024. Will
Yes.
this actually make it out in 2024?
I mean, it's not adding like a ton of stuff.
It isn't, but you
In
still have to.
most of the crowdfunding is going to be a reprint. So
Right.
there is a good possibility, but I don't know for sure.
So yeah, so there's a chance this won't make it out this year.
But who
Yeah, we'll see. All right. Well, that wraps up our list. Well, I probably showed you some games you've never heard of before, but that's what I do, right?
knows?
Um,
Wouldn't be on your anticipated list, but it's on his.
yeah. So yeah, like I said, I am looking forward to all these games, and hopefully they're all fun because I guess you never know. And then the other thing is, there's going to be like 50 other games that I don't know about that also are going to look cool that are going to come out this year. So,
For sure.
but that's just how it goes, right?
I mean, I kind of want to get that the video game one that Arcane Wonders
Oh
is
yeah, I
creating.
didn't think about that, but that actually came. I mean, that's an
It,
existing
it
game.
is an existing game, but it has got a
The video game champion.
yes,
Yeah, yeah, that we'd probably end up picking that up too.
yeah. Pick it up from Robert. Mhm.
All right, well, I guess that wraps up our list, and I hope you enjoyed watching that. And comment down below if I don't know whatever you're anticipating, or if you think any of these games look cool. So, all right. Well, I guess that's it, and we will talk to you later, everybody. Bye.